Nolan, the other day I was looking at TRO Easy, Travel Research Online, by our good friend and publisher Richard Earls.
Yep.
And I saw something back out of the dark ages that caught my attention, and that was the word rebating.
Oh, man, I saw that. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I left a comment on that article. I can't believe that word is back again.
When I entered this racket, who? Did he say racket? When I entered this business back in 1984, rebating was just popping up. And I couldn't understand all of the noise. I mean, they were talking about rebates, and I was saying, I don't get it. I came from the electronics industry, and I don't get this rebating action. Why is everybody so nervous about it? But boy, were they nervous back in 1984.
Well, and with good reason. And for those who may not have been around in the travel industry in those days, there was a time when people would take a piece of their commission, mostly air commission, and give it back to their client. And everybody was all twitchy about it because it was actually against the rules of the airlines. You could have your agency shut down. So, you know, eventually everybody was doing it, and they made it okay. And then you know what happened is once everybody was rebating, the airlines finally said, well, hey, I guess we're paying you too much money, aren't we?
Yeah.
So they ended up going to zero commission. Well, this article, it was on travelresearchonline.com. This article was all about agencies starting to do it again with tours and cruises and that kind of stuff. Can you believe that, Mike?
Wow, wow. I tell you, it's where's the money coming from?
Well, there you go, because I keep hearing agents saying over and over again that their margins are already super slim. But here's the thing. The reason Richard wrote that article is that an agent had contacted him, and he was all upset because I guess one of the cruises or the tour operators, I'm not sure which one, they were telling him that it was against the policy for him to rebate some of the commission. And his response was, how do you expect me to compete with the internet if I can't discount the price? Oh my goodness.
Oh man, man.
I mean, there are still people out there, travel agents, I know you're out there, some of you, that think the only way you can compete with the internet is to beat the price. And man, oh man, could nothing be farther from the truth. And that is a very dangerous and slippery slope.
Well, no, I could see you up in Vancouver reading that article, and when you read that particular sentence, I could see you absolutely falling off your chair on the floor.
I was. It just makes me crazy.
I can see that.
The worst thing to do is to try to beat the internet by doing what it does.
You can't beat the internet. You can't beat the internet.
Well, there's always a cheaper price out there someplace. So instead of trying to beat the internet at what it does, what you should be doing is beating the internet at what it can't do, won't ever do.
Bingo.
It's that good old-fashioned human service.
Yep.
Hey, I got a couple of good lines for you that I've heard from some travel agents who really get the idea that you need to compete on service versus price.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is good. The first one was, and some people may have heard me say these before because they're really good. When you have somebody that calls and say, hey, travel agent, I just found a great deal on the internet. Can you beat it? Can you match it? Well, apparently some people think, sure, let me just rebate some of my commission. That'll do it. But here's what I've heard that works better. Wow, that's a great price. Of course, it'd be a complete waste of money if you ended up hating the trip, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's great. Hey, ask me that question. I got a third one.
Okay. Hey, Mike Marchev, travel agent.
Yeah.
I just found a great deal on the internet. Can you beat it?
Nope.
And that's it?
And there it is. But I can do something else for you.
Well, you know, here's one I heard that kind of along the same lines. Well, I might be able to match it or beat it, but that could be the worst thing I could do for you. After all, how cheap does a bad vacation have to be for it to be okay?
Hey, here's one for you. Who would you have pack your parachute? The cheap guy or the guy that knows what he's doing?
Now that one's pretty good. Now this brings up a really important point here. We have to tell our travel agents, you got to practice this stuff. You have to have enough of these in your back pocket that they come out instantly when someone calls you. Because I know your phone's ringing off the wall from people who say, I just found a deal on the internet, can you beat it, can you match it?
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you can beat it or match it. Just don't make that the first place you go.
Right.
The reason to call a travel agent is for advice. I've said it 100 times. Surveys have proven it. The #1 reason given for calling a travel agent is I want advice.
Yes.
And advice begins with you asking some questions. And the first question could be, what's most important to you? getting $2,000 worth of vacation, or going home saying, wow, what a fabulous time we had?
You know, Nolan, I just thought of another answer to the question is, you know, can you match the internet, the price or whatever the question is? And you say, well, before I answer that, again, I ask you a question, you know, why would I want to do that? You know, why would I want to contribute to putting your vacation on a teetering two-legged stool? I mean, you know, why would I want to do that?
And it's all about digging down a little bit deeper. And I've said this to travel agents every time I do one of my consulting skills classes is the only reason that a client mentions price first when they call you on the phone is because it's a perfectly natural thing to do when you're shopping.
Exactly.
We all do it.
Yep.
You know, when you're shopping for a car, when you're shopping for a house, doesn't matter what you're looking for, the first thing you say is how much.
Yep.
It's just because up to that point, you don't have anything else to talk about yet. And it's your job as the consultant to give me something else to talk about because I don't know what the relevant questions are.
Bingo. Absolutely. That's a great point. They don't know the right questions to ask, so the professional travel agent guides them through the questioning process.
Exactly, exactly. They're going to ask about price first. It's the perfectly natural human thing to do. We all do it. It's your job to take it someplace else, and the right place to take it is, I might be able to match that price for you, but why don't we first make sure we get the right vacation for you? Because boy, what a ripoff if you wasted your money on a vacation you didn't enjoy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, once again, Nolan, you're a wealth of information, and I just love listening to you for two reasons. Number one, you don't give me time to talk, and number two, you've got a lot to say.
Well, you talk faster than I do, so you can cram a lot more into the few minutes that I do give you.
And listen, I want the listeners and the watchers to understand that I don't always wear T-shirts, but this is kind of like a slow day up in the country, so I dressed down today.
I think you look fantastic, Mike.
Hey, Nolan, I'll see you next time.
All right, take care, buddy.
Okay.
Go cut the lawn. It looks like you're dressed for it.
Yeah, okay. Bye for now. Bye.